For centuries, we thought we knew her story. The seductress queen who charmed two of Rome's greatest leaders, the exotic beauty who died for love. But recent discoveries tell a vastly different tale of Cleopatra, one of genius, ambition, and ruthless determination. And nowhere is this more evident than in a mysterious octagonal tomb discovered in modern-day Turkey that holds secrets that will change everything we thought we knew about Egypt's last queen. Imagine Alexandria, 69 BCE, a golden city where East meets West, where Greek wisdom blends with Egyptian mysticism. In a palace of unimaginable luxury, with over 100 rooms adorned with precious art, a child is born who will change the course of history. But this isn't just any palace. This is a place where siblings marry each other and murder is a family tradition. This is the world that shaped Cleopatra VII. While other noble children played with toys, she spent her childhood in the greatest library of the ancient world. But what truly set her apart wasn't just her intelligence, it was her determination to break with tradition. In 3 centuries of Ptolemaic rule, not a single member of her dynasty had bothered to learn Egyptian. Cleopatra mastered it, along with 8 other languages, including Ethiopian, Hebrew, Arabic, Syrian, Median, Parthian, and Latin. But here's what's truly fascinating. Recent DNA evidence suggests that the supposedly pure Greek Ptolemaic line had African blood. The discovery challenges everything we thought we knew about this famous dynasty. Cleopatra wasn't just ruling Egypt, she was part Egyptian herself. At 17, she ascended to the throne alongside her 10-year-old brother-husband, Ptolemy III. Yes, you heard that correctly. In the Ptolemaic dynasty, siblings often married to keep the bloodline pure. But while history remembers her marriages, it often forgets her remarkable achievements as a ruler. During a severe drought, she sold her own jewelry to feed her people. She received subjects from all walks of life, from farmers to fishermen, listening to their problems and offering solutions. She even had her own perfume factory, creating exclusive fragrances that she would later use as diplomatic gifts. But power in the Ptolemaic court was a dangerous game. Within a year, her brother's advisors had turned against her. They accused her of something that would resonate with the Egyptian people. They claimed she was responsible for a drought that was devastating crops. Forced into exile, most would have given up, not Cleopatra. What happened next would become legend. Learning that Julius Caesar had arrived in Alexandria, she devised an audacious plan. But here's what most people don't know. She wasn't smuggled in a carpet, as commonly believed. According to Plutarch, she was hidden inside a hemp sack, carried through enemy lines by her loyal servant Apollodorus. When she emerged before Caesar, it wasn't just her beauty that captivated him, it was her mind. But while their relationship would change history, it also set in motion a series of events that would reveal Cleopatra's darker side. During the civil war that followed, Alexandria burned. The great library was partially destroyed, and in the chaos, Cleopatra's younger sister, Arsinoe IV, made her own bid for power. It's here that the story takes an extraordinary turn. Arsinoe managed to do something remarkable. She defeated Julius Caesar himself in battle. The location was the Pharos Lighthouse, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Standing 300 feet high, with its distinctive 8-sided tower, it was the pride of Alexandria. Caesar attempted to seize it, but Arsinoe's forces caught him off guard. The great general barely escaped with his life, forced to shed his famous purple cloak and swim to safety, while the Egyptians hoisted his garment above the battlements in triumph. For a brief moment, it seemed Arsinoe might become the legend we now know as Cleopatra, but fate, and her sister, had other plans. After Caesar's victory restored Cleopatra to power, Arsinoe was taken to Rome in chains. In an unprecedented show of public sympathy, the Roman crowd refused to watch her execution during Caesar's triumph. Instead, she was granted sanctuary at the Temple of Artemis in Ephesus, another wonder of the ancient world. But Cleopatra never forgot this threat to her power. Years later, after Caesar's assassination, she found a new ally in Mark Antony. Their relationship wasn't just about romance, it was about ambition. Together, they dreamed of creating an empire that would rival Rome itself. Yet before they could build this new empire, Cleopatra needed to eliminate all threats. She convinced Antony to commit an unprecedented sacrilege, violating the Temple of Artemis to execute her sister. The act shocked the ancient world. Religious sanctuary was considered inviolable. Even hardened Romans were horrified. Here's where modern science provides an extraordinary twist to the tale: that mysterious octagonal tomb in Ephesus. Inside, archaeologists found the skeleton of a young woman. Carbon dating places her death exactly when Arsinoe was executed. The skeleton shows she was petite, aged between 15 and 18, and lived a life of luxury before dying suddenly. Using cutting-edge forensic technology, scientists have reconstructed her face, giving us perhaps the closest glimpse we'll ever have of what the Ptolemaic sisters looked like. But Cleopatra's story was far from over. With Mark Antony, she created a drinking club called the Inimitable Livers, known for their extravagant parties and elaborate pranks. One famous incident involved Antony trying to impress Cleopatra with his fishing skills by having slaves secretly attach pre-caught fish to his line. Cleopatra, seeing through the deception, arranged for her own slave to attach a salted fish to his hook, much to the amusement of all present. She was also known for outrageous bets. Once, she wagered she could spend 10 million sesterces, about 15 million euros in today's money, on a single dinner. To win, she dissolved one of her priceless pearl earrings in vinegar and drank it. But beneath these legendary excesses was a brilliant political mind. Cleopatra was rebuilding Egypt's power. She restored temples, supported scholarly research, and maintained Alexandria's position as the cultural capital of the Mediterranean. She even supervised the construction of the Caesareum, a magnificent temple to honor Caesar's memory. The end of her story is famous: the defeat at Actium, the suicide of Antony, and her own death, traditionally attributed to an asp's bite. But recent research suggests something different. The death from a snake bite would have been long and painful. Historical accounts say she died peacefully, suggesting she may have taken a quick-acting poison of her own creation. Her final letter to Octavian contained one last request: to be buried beside Mark Antony. Even in death, she was controlling her narrative. But where is her tomb? Some believe it lies beneath modern Alexandria, perhaps under the Mediterranean. Others think it's hidden beneath the temple of Taposiris Magna, where archaeologists continue to search today. To protect her youngest son, Caesarion, she sent him to the port of Berenice on the Red Sea, planning his escape to India. But after her death, his companions, likely bribed by Octavian, brought him back to Alexandria, where he was executed. Her other children were taken to Rome and raised by Antony's former wife, Octavia. The boys disappeared from history, but her daughter, Cleopatra Selene II, became queen of Numidia. Cleopatra's death marked the end of both the Ptolemaic dynasty and ancient Egypt's independence. But perhaps her greatest triumph is this: after more than 2 millennia, we're still uncovering new chapters of her story. Each archaeological discovery, each scientific breakthrough, reveals another facet of this remarkable woman who was so much more than a beautiful queen. She was a scholar who spoke 9 languages, a ruler who won her people's loyalty, a mother who fought to protect her children's inheritance, and a visionary who dared to dream of unifying the ancient world under a new empire. In the end, Cleopatra's true legacy isn't the legend of her beauty or her famous lovers. It's the story of a woman who wielded power in a man's world, who combined intellectual brilliance with political cunning, and who, for a brief, shining moment, held the fate of the ancient world in her hands. Today, as archaeologists continue their search for her tomb, one thing is certain: the real Cleopatra was far more fascinating than any legend could ever be.